All right. We're live. It's Tuesday. Welcome to the happy
Ready to
hour.
go if you can hear me. I apologize for the bad reception.
It is all good. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties with our special guest, Jim Gemma, from the Las Vegas Aviators. He's the director of media operations. I'm going to go with that. How are you doing, Jim? All right, we're working on it. There we go.
I'm doing okay. Sorry this is so fluey, but here I am. So hopefully you can hear me okay.
Yes, now we can hear you just fine.
Yeah, so sound good now.
Yes, it's happening. So, Jim, this is Detroit Lenny, Jim Gemma. How's it going, guys?
How you doing,
I can
Jim?
hear you. Go ahead.
Good.
I'm just listening on my phone, so I can hear you.
Okay, excellent.
Nice to meet you, sir.
So, Jim, what is your official title at the Aviators? Okay, maybe not.
We were doing so good.
I know we were really on a roll there. It's all right. Okay, we're gonna give it a minute. Huh? I think
not a good podcast. Sorry, everybody.
I feel like there's a gremlin at your house. Have you thought about that? Did you feed him after midnight? You're not supposed to.
This is true story.
I'm just
water
saying.
is bad. I know we live in the desert, but don't give them water.
Yeah, don't do it. That's the thing.
That's the key. Whiskey's fine. Water's bad.
Fair enough. Okay, well, let's give Jim a minute to kind of sort it out, and let's catch up. Lenny, how's it going?
Yes, good. It is going good. I hit how about them Tigers?
Hey,
Spencer Turnbull, no hitter, first time since JV back in May of 2011, maybe May 7th to be exact. I might have known the date prior to ESPN announcing that because I'm a degenerate. But Spencer Turnbull, and it's funny because I was on Twitter just trolling, kind of watching the Knights game, and then somebody tweeted, "Hey, you should be watching the Tiger game." And I flipped it on, and it was, bottom of the eighth, and he's got a no-hitter going, and I'm jumping up and down trying to explain to my wife how significant this moment is, and she wants to know when the show starts so she can go watch 60 Day Fiance or some shit. I don't know.
Women, am I right?
I was so high and like happy and up here, and then she just she cut the sails out. She just and I'm like,
hey, 90 Day Fiance, come on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like newsflash. Let's skip to the end. It doesn't work out for him.
I lived that life. I was a 7-hour fiance. I lived that life. It does not work out. Yeah, I can promise you that right now. Sorry, I'm just sharing us out for the people to join in. What's happening, chat? Good to see you guys all in tonight. So speaking of being degenerates, we had a good little weekend. I quit. My last sports bet was the Kentucky Derby. You guys all know that. And then I had a little 2-teamer on the night that I went to the Knights game. And then on the Preakness day, I said, you know what? Putting money in the account. We're going to start betting again. And I went full freaking degenerate, Lenny. It wasn't like disciplined handicap person. No, it was not that. I had 8 horse bets. I had 2 UFC fights. I had a WNBA game. I had first 5 full games. It got intense.
So there's 10 horses and you bet on 8 out of 10 of them to win?
I'm pretty in some combination. I'm sure that I did.
For the record, I'm not judging because I did the same thing, but I lost. So
I won.
The number 6 horse was the only horse I didn't bet on.
I had him in the 3, 4, 5, 6. I cashed it. I had $48 on it. I collected $325. So that's my biggest cash on a horse race to date.
Yeah, there you go. Golf club.
Thank you.
But I would tell you, I think I should start selling my horse picks and what I'm going to do so people know to fade me, because it's like I do it for the fun.
Yeah.
We talked about this before. There's a time to be a degenerate and there's a time to be a handicapper.
Yes.
And, normally like a Monday through Friday, I'm a handicapper. And then, those 2 a.m. bets, or those overnighters are bad.
Yeah.
But whatever. So yeah, horse races, it's time to be a degenerate.
Let's
It's
go.
that time. It's time for us degenerates to step up on horse racing.
Because that's just it. Like, we're all serious and, you're crunching numbers and figuring out stats and thinking about motivation and situation. Is the wind blowing in or out of Wrigley today? I don't know, but I need to, right? So you're so stressed out, but you forget that, like, this is sports betting. Like, it's supposed to be fun. And the twins from Earl Sports Bets. I did the Game Time Decision show with them today, and I was telling them about the horse races. And they're 21 for you.
They freak out.
In the chat. Yeah, they're 21 years old. They're just got signed on with Picks and Parlays. They're selling picks and they're like all disciplined and they're like, I would never lay a price this big. And like they sound like grown-ups and stuff. And they're dark. Yeah. They're like top of the leaderboard at Picks and Parlays. So like, not to say anything bad about them, but I'm like, you guys don't understand, okay? I've been doing this a long time. And when it comes down to throw $40 into the garbage, throw $40 into the garbage and you freaking scream and yell about it. And you drink.
Sometimes you got to do that. You got to take one for the team. And WNBA, first of all, I've already bet on the WNBA.
I cashed them today, had Liberty. And I was
there you go. I will drink to that.
Yep. Cheers. Wait, I'll get my grown-up drink out. I'm on Sprite.
Oh. I drink with my pinky out too because I'm from Detroit and we fancy.
Pinkies up. Put your pinky finger to the moon.
So Brady, the WNBA is not meth. That's a terrible comparison, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Now, betting on table tennis, pickleball, or whatever pair freaking stuff. Is it pickleball? It's pickleball. Yeah, that's bad. That's meth. Yeah. Cricket, maybe. Cricket.
Cricket.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
Jim.
you. Hello.
Can you hear us, Jim?
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me? Yeah. Can you
I'm
hear
sorry for the screw up.
Oh, you're fine.
Yes. Yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry. I apologize.
It is okay. No worries. So we're really excited to talk to you because Lenny and I are huge baseball fans. We both live here in Las Vegas. As you know, I work for Jim. Jim was my boss at the Las Vegas Aviators. So we go way back. I know you from UNLV also. But we were freaking out last week, thinking that maybe there might be a possibility that the A's could come to Las Vegas. And then I kind of mentioned it to you, and you broke my heart a little. So why don't you give me your rundown on what you think is going to happen, like the future of Major League Baseball in Las Vegas? Do you have a future? So why don't you give me your rundown on what you think is going to happen, like the future of Major League Baseball in Las Vegas?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I miss you working the games, game day statistics. You're very good at it. So
thank you.
A's brass are coming next week, but they're also going to Charlotte and Nashville. And I see why MLB is doing this. They're trying to get that ballpark down at the waterfront. And the A's have been there since 1969. I hope the A's stay there. The Bay Area to lose all three major league teams would be a disaster. But they do have a great fan base.
That's true. And they always have. They're kind of that redheaded stepchild of California baseball.
They do have a great fan base.
Okay, wasn't losing that. So what do you think? What does the future hold for MLB in Las Vegas? Do you think we'll ever get a team? Is it like something that's 5 years away or 10 years away, or my kid's gonna enjoy it someday away? So what do you think? What does the future hold for MLB in Las Vegas? Do you think we'll ever get a team? Is it like something that's
Again, I'm sorry for the delay. I'm hearing you a little longer. So, I mean, we can do this brief. I can get off, but I think eventually we'll get a major league team. It's a matter of, you're going to have a standalone stadium like the Diamondbacks to have a retractable roof. So that's basically a given here in this climate. I mean, you can play with the retractable roof like Phoenix does in April and May and September, but in the hot summer months, you can do it in the minor leagues, but you can't do it in the major leagues. Vegas would need a retractable roof. Now, I don't know where we're ever getting public money again. That's the huge question. It's going to have to be a privately funded stadium, I would think. But again, we'll see. I think the NBA is coming before anything else because they could go right in T-Mobile as early as next year. It's not going to happen next year, but you already have that facility there. So
that's a good call. It's a little heartbreaking, but it's a good call nonetheless.
Jim, I got a question for you. If you had, like, if Vegas isn't the answer for Oakland, who is?
That's a good call. It's a little heartbreaking, but it's a good call nonetheless. Jim, I got a question for you. Is there an echo in here?
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just hearing you guys on delay. I apologize.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear me?
I don't know.
That's okay.
It's
My
all
question.
right.
That's okay. My question is, if not Vegas, then where? No, maybe not.
I'm not hearing this question, so
Okay.
I think it's best. I'm going to bail out, so I'll do this when I get a DSL line next time. I'll be at the ballpark.
Okay, no worries.
I appreciate you having me on. So I will talk to you soon. I just can't hear you guys. So
no problem. Thank you so much, Jim. It was great to have you on.
I will bid adieu, as they say.
Oh, that's a bummer. Jim is a really, really great guy. He knows so much about baseball and so much about sports in Las Vegas, just all together as well. Do you have kids that can teach technology to work? So hopefully we can have him on again sometime in the future. A really great guy and great to talk some baseball with. And we do love to talk our baseball, don't we, Lenny?
Yes, we do.
We really do.
By the way, John, there's no shame in having your kids help you with the internet, okay? There's no shame in that. I got an 8-year-old. He's our resident IT guy. He knows the iPhones. He knows the Androids. He knows about Oreos in the shower. The kid knows things.
Dude, is he your weatherman?
Yes, 100%. Yes. He gets up at 7 a.m. every morning. He doesn't have to leave for the bus. Like, the bus is at the corner. It's a block away. So the bus picks him up at 8:30. Gets up 7 a.m. every morning, does his hair, brushes his teeth, gets dressed, has a bowl of cereal, and watches the weather.
That's the cutest thing I ever
every day.
saw.
And lets me know what I have to wear that day. It's going to be windy. It's going to be rainy, which he's never really said because we live, in Vegas. But
right.
But yeah, yeah, he was very excited when it snowed like a couple of years ago. He was like, "It's 2 months snow," and I'm like, "What?" And I didn't believe him. And then he called me out on my shit. So he was right, as usual. We have a joke around the house: when he's right, he's right. And that's what me and Mandy will say to each other when he's like, "No, we have to do this. No, it's going to be 45-mile-an-hour winds tomorrow." And I'm like, "No, it's not. Whatever." And she'll yell to me, "When he's right, he's right."
How funny.
Yeah, when he's right, he's right. So.
Well, yeah. I had a Brendan moment. I had an Oreos in the shower kind of esque moment. And it made me think of the Oreo in the shower. So, and then it kind of made me think of this question to bring to you guys in the chat also here. You guys can answer this. Maybe I won't feel so horrible about my life, but we all know what like getting drunk hungover feels like, right? But there's food hangovers too. And I on principle, do not buy Cheez-Its and Goldfish. They can't be around me. Like, they cannot. And one of my girlfriends
Fair.
came over with her 2 little kids, and she's got a box of Cheez-Its and some little things of Goldfish. She got all her little stuff, and she leaves it here. And I'm sitting in my bed, and I effing mow like 3/4 of a box of Cheez-Its. And like, I'm eating, and then like I roll them up and I put them away, and I put them by the side of the bed. And I'm like, 2 more. And then I go for it. I get 2 more. I mean, it was this process. And then by the time it all ended, I was so sick. I like nearly went, I felt like I was going to die. And I was like, this is like Oreos in the shower right now. Like, what am I doing with my life? I'm questioning my choices I have made to get me to this point. No problem, Jim. We love you. No
Yes.
problem. I know. I love Cheez-Its too. That's the problem.
So-
When you guys have a food in your house that like you can't freaking have there because you'll annihilate it, because I do.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think we should bet on what Brady's is.
On what Brady says.
Well, what Brady's food is
Oh,
that
what
he can't,
Brady's
that his
food
bin, that his Oreo in the shower is.
What's your Oreo in the shower?
What's your Oreo in the shower, Brady? I need to know these
Rio
things.
Mason. What's up, Rio Mason? We should name the show Oreo in the shower. Oreos in the shower.
And then the people that get it. Like they get it. And the people that
Yep.
don't. You know.
Yeah.
No, mine's those little mini Reese cups. You know, the
Uh-huh.
little ones, not the big ones. I don't want the full size. I don't need the king size. I like the little mini snack ones. So when I eat them, it feels like I'm not eating that many, or they're just small. So, but then you eat a bag, and then it's, you know, it's all bad, you know, and it's just all bad. And chocolate and whiskey do not go together.
Yeah, no, neither do
That's
chocolate
all
and
bad.
beer. Chocolate and beer is
No,
no
I would
good.
imagine.
Do you put them in
Yes,
the fridge?
absolutely,
Got to.
absolutely.
Yeah, got to.
We live in the desert. Everything goes in the fridge. Everything. So,
I put my
you
hot
know,
in the fridge.
yeah, I mean, I put my Reese cups in there. I put my whiskey in the freezer and my Reese cups in the fridge. That's where I'm at. You know,
Oh my
you
goodness.
know.
There was a Halloween like 4 years ago, I want to say, where Escher we trick-or-treated the neighborhood, and then his dad picked him up and he went and stayed the weekend at his dad's house. And by the time Escher got back, I had to go buy all new Halloween candy.
You
I
ate
took
all-
it all out. Done it. But luckily, it was after Halloween, so I got all that shit at a discount. You know, the Smiths
Day
like,
after.
Yep, day after
Yep.
candy.
Oh, that's smart
Can't
parenting right there.
Chocolate anymore. What happened, John Carvelli? Rio Mason eats a whole bag and works out. You're crazy. Why can't
Well, I
you
mean,
do
these
chocolate?
you have levels. You can balance it out. That makes sense.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, he keeps his
Okay.
rum in the freezer. I keep my tequila in the freezer.
I keep my vodka. I keep all my booze. I stopped drinking beer like 2 years ago, and I've lost like random fact side story. I've lost like 100 pounds not drinking beer.
Shut the front door. Is that what my
yeah.
issue is?
Well, yeah, because you're huge. Shut
Well,
up.
I have
So-
a big thing happening.
No, I just I can't. It's the carbonation for me. I can't do carbonation, so I don't drink soda anymore. Or as where I come from, we call it pop. I can't drink pop anymore. I can't drink beer. It's the carbonation. So I
Right.
try and keep it healthy, whiskey and the water.
Whiskey. I like it. All right. Okay.
Hydrate. You know, I'm killing 2 birds. I'm all about the value. It's all about the value bet. This is a value bet for me. This is a value bet. This is me being a degenerate, but yet keeping my bankroll under control with hydration.
Right. That's important too. We are in the desert. I remember she's still my best girlfriend now, but we had just met in college, and she's a big Jack Daniels girl. And we'd go out drinking, and like in college, you're trying to go out till 3, 4 in the morning, and she'd drink whiskey and just be piss drunk by midnight or 1 o'clock. And I was like, girl, this is Vegas. It's about quantity, not quality. Like, you're gonna
Right.
have to put that
Yeah.
shit much. So
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Okay. And I mean, I tell people all the time, like, I don't like to go out on big holidays. St. Patty's Day, New Year's Eve. I don't
Amateur
like
night.
I don't like big crowds and stuff like that because it's amateur night. I'm a veteran. You know, I could sit there. I'll start drinking at noon, sit in the pool and drink all day, and I'm fine. I'll get out of the pool once, you know, maybe, throughout the day, and then, I mean, that's how I am though. But like, I mean, I'm like this. If I'm gonna sit and drink, I'm gonna drink, and I'm gonna, And I have a saying with my wife. Like, I could still party with the young guys. I could still hang like the young crowd. I could still do it like I did when I was 19 years old. But my recovery time
that's
is not how I was 19 years old. Like, I could party. Man, I will hang with the best of them all night long. Every time somebody comes into town, it's like, oh, great, let's go hang out with Lenny in Vegas. And we'll get all hammered and shit. And then you go home.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I have to go back to life, And I'm not right for like, if I get hammered on a Saturday, I'm not right till like Wednesday.
Drinking, it's not a hobby anymore.
That's a name for a show.
I like
Drinking,
that. I like it.
Not a hobby anymore.
I think we've talked about it on this show before. Did you ever watch the show Last Man on Earth?
Yeah, that's what he grew the beard and then he found somebody else. I kind of watched I think the first season.
Do you remember the margarita kiddie pool? Like the margarita kiddie pool is like a life goal for me. Like I want takes a kiddie pool, he makes it into a margarita, puts salt on the rim and he lays in it with a straw. Like, let's do this.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It just, if it makes dollars, it makes sense. If a margarita pool makes whatever, it makes sense. I don't care how you want to look at it. Like, it just does. Moments where you look at something and go, why didn't I think of that?
Yeah.
Why didn't I invent that? Why didn't I invent that?
It was right there for me the whole time. It was right there for me the whole time.
My wife has an addiction with cups, with just cups. With I call them adult sippy cups. The ones with the lids and they're all sparkly. And she has like the Disney ones and the ones that say her name on them and they're all black and sparkly red. Whatever. She has an addiction, and I tell them those are your adult sippy cups. That's what that is. It's an adult sippy cup, and she has a problem. So the fact that we have a deal where if she buys a new one, she's got to get rid of 3. She got to get rid of 3 cups to get a new one because we don't have any more cupboards. Fair. Yeah, we don't have any more cupboards.
We're done here. She needs like a big Tupperware thing is what she needs.
We have one. It's in the garage. She alternates them. She alternates her adult sippy cups per the season.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can get behind that. I'm not a sippy cup person. I don't ever think they're
do not encourage her.
I don't ever think they're clean. Like mouthpiece things, like cups that come with a straw or like have mouthpiece holes. Like I don't think that ever gets clean. So I'll use it that one time and we're good here.
No. We have to save the planet. So we buy those cups with those straws. Then we throw those straws out and we buy metal straws to keep in there to save sea turtles. Didn't you know this?
No, because I don't drink out of sippy cups. I'm a goddamn adult.
See? I hope she's watching.
You knew I would understand. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. She's calling me every name in the book probably while watching the show.
Oh, no. She loves you.
I'm okay with that.
My best girlfriend Brianna is the same way. She's the same one who brought the Cheez-Its. Bad influence that girl is. But yeah, she's always got her little cups and she's got the ones that like hang onto her belt and but none of them fit in your car thing. Like, how do those ever fit into your car cup holder thing either? That always bugs me about them too.
Yeah. I mean, everybody always gets me like Tiger ones or Alliance cups, like those big ones that'll fit like a 40 ounce. And I'm like, where were those when I was like 19, first of all, where I could fit 40 in a cup? And, because when I was 19 and couldn't buy booze, you were trying to buy, 3 40 ounces of Mickey's for $5. That was the deal at the party store in Detroit. You get 3 40 ounces for $5. That's a deal.
I remember it was the 22s of High Life, I think, were 99 cents. That was a big deal. 32s of High Life.
Yeah. Was it 5 o'clock vodka? It was called 5 o'clock. They had 5 o'clock vodka, 5 o'clock gin, 5 o'clock or whatever. And then, you buy a $2 bottle of Sunny D and you're a degenerate teenager in Detroit. That's all it takes.
I don't
All you
think
need is a starter kit for being a degenerate teenager in Detroit is this hat.
starter kit.
And you need
Rock album.
you need a decent album with the windows down because they don't roll up. And then you need a 40 ounce of some sort of cheap malt liquor and like a fifth of Mad Dog 2020.
Ooh.
And you'd just be good times.
Yeah. That's par for the course. Man.
That's called a Tuesday.
Freaking Adam Hill has a sippy cup story. I want to hear about that. Oh gosh.
I want to hear all the sippy cup stories.
I know, huh?
Yeah, right.
I know. I know about those plastic red Solo cups. I have one somewhere, but it's blue. But it has a lid on it. That's the one I have. It looks like that, but then it's got a lid, so it is a sippy cup. Like it's got the sippy lid on it.
I have one that's insulated, that like you could put in the freezer and let it freeze, and then put stuff in. And I think it's from Crown. I think it came with like a Christmas Crown Royal set. You know,
right?
Every year somebody buys me a bottle of Crown Royal and the 2 cups that come with the Christmas set,
right?
Which is all the cups, all the rock glasses in my bar are Christmas gifts.
I have a lot of VGK tumblers because of that, from the Crown Royal tumblers from the VGK set. So yeah, I'm getting
40 ounce of Old E Cisco. That was
I remember Cisco. Oh,
that's bad.
That was dirty. That's dirty shit, Rio. I like it.
Dirty.
Dirty.
That's a hangover. Now, if I just like walk through a Lee's Liquor and see Mad Dog 2020, I get like PTSD and walk the other way.
I remember throwing up Boone's Farm out of my nose one night in high school, and it was like the most painful. I was like, I'll never drink again.
That's a great random question. First thing you ever got sick on, alcohol you got sick on, that you'll never drink again.
I think it might be Boone's Farm. I think that was like my first real like getting drunk and puking experience. But
did you go back to it?
I mean, I've never not gone back to something that I drank.
Well, mine was Southern Comfort with Mountain Dew. And yeah, it was all bad. And I've never, ever, ever remotely tried that again. I never will.
I have a story about Southern Comfort, and it involves Dutch Boyd and Ron Jeremy. You want to hear it? And a strip club. You want to hear it?
I mean, do you take Visa? I'd pay to hear that story.
So my girlfriend, the whiskey drinker, who I told her quantity, not quality, her and I were good friends with Ron Jeremy. World Series of Poker was just about to come through Vegas, and I was engaged to Dutch Boyd at the time. So we flew out to LA to go to the Commerce. We were staying at the Commerce, and it just so happened Ron was judging a booty shaking contest at the Spearmint Rhino. And
it was a Tuesday.
I think it was like a Wednesday, actually. Yeah. So we're over that. We're already a little drunk. We head down to the Whiskey A Go-Go, and I take a shot of SoCo, and I effing taste it. Like it was SoCo Lime was my drink at the time, like SoCo and lime juice, and I taste it. That's right. I have told this story on the phone on this show before. I tasted it. I know it's bad. So we're driving back to the Commerce, and like I'm hanging my head out of this cab, and like the puke is just like flowing out of my mouth. Like the wind is taking it. We get to the Commerce, and this poor cab driver, his whole fucking side of his cab is just puked on, and he's like, "You're gonna pay for this," and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not. That's not what I'm gonna do." It was a whole big thing, but. You know what? I did not. I tipped him well, but then he started yelling, and the guy at the Commerce, the security guy, was like, "Are you staying here?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "All right, go to your room." And that was it.
I mean, you did throw up on the guy's cab, and you're like, I don't know why you're so pissed off, bro. I gave you a tip.
What am I supposed to? Well, I didn't throw up in his car, and I think that's the important thing here. Okay, I could have thrown up in the car.
Okay.
Yes, I will.
That's fair. That's fair. If it's just the outside, you can go through the dollar car wash, get that shit off.
That's what I figured. I tipped him. I gave him money.
Yeah. Well, you know,
I don't want
Let's
to
be
talk.
honest. I mean, if he's a cab driver in Vegas, I doubt that was the worst story he had in his cab.
Well, it was LA.
Okay, so then
Right?
it probably was the worst story.
It's from LA puke on purpose. So I'm sure that he's had this situation before. You know, I was puking on accident. So
Okay.
So
Listen,
that-
there's no judgment here. Okay, I got a kid who eats Oreos in the shower. We don't judge in this house. We do. We don't judge in this house. We have a saying: there's no judging in the Winston household. We do not judge at all.
I don't want to talk about the Dutch Boyd story, but I will, because now it's a thing and it is kind of interesting and everyone does care, but I don't, I guess. So Dutch and I were together in 2006 and I got the bracelets because I think it was Brandon Cantu, Brian Devonshire, and Jeff Madsen had just got his first one and I had got 4 and I had told Dutch that when I got this one's going to be for you. Well, mother flip, look what the cat did. Oh, we're going to have a talk right now. We're going to have a talk.
Hold on. Oh, there we go.
You don't tell me to hold on. I've been holding on. Okay, I've been holding on.
For
I feel
weeks.
like
You've been holding on for weeks.
I feel like you're breaking up with me through text. That's what I feel like. I feel like you're like, yeah, we're totally going to hang out on Tuesday. Yeah, I'm on my way. And then you're like, oh, I just got this call from my mom and I have to help her with her cat in a tree or something. Like, really, Alex? Really? And then next week, same thing happens every Tuesday. It's like you're see you next Tuesday. Alex, what the hell? What
are you calling? What are you calling me? What are you calling me?
See you next Tuesday.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Pew, pew. What
Sorry.
are you doing?
I'm eating some nuts. Man.
Not saying
What's
a
up?
damn thing.
That nut. Give me that.
What's up, Alex? Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you, Detroit Lenny. Cheers.
Cheers, brother.
He's going to be drinking a smoothie or an herbal tea. Okay.
I'm eating some trail mix, actually. Some trail mix.
Is it organic?
It's from Trader Joe's, so
Okay. All right.
it kind
I mean,
of
I'm
it's probably not
hydrating.
organic. I might have a beer. Shoot. I don't
I'm
know if I have one
hydrating.
usually.
There's a free range. Let me
Sorry
find
to
out.
interrupt. What did I
Nothing.
miss?
I don't want to talk about what we were talking about anyway. So it's
Allie's love life.
yeah.
Oh, Allie, what's the latest?
Nothing. It was the old love life stuff. Yeah, where is your hair looks good. You look more gussied up. Did you just get off work?
Yeah, we had a boys basketball broadcast tonight, so I was doing that.
Okay. So that's what Alex does, Lenny. He does play-by-play for a lot of high school sports in Orange County. And then he has his own show called About Damn Time, where they talk a lot about Oregon Beavers football, but not basketball for some reason. I never did figure that part out, but football, that's what he's into. And then Detroit Lenny, this Alex, he bets on sports with me a lot.
Oh, sweet.
I'm a degenerate, so
Yeah,
that's great.
I got that going for me. I like meatloaf.
That's amazing.
I got those two things going for me. But yeah, I
Do you
like
live in Vegas?
I do live in Vegas. I'm originally from Detroit. One of my best
That
friends,
part
though, is an
makes sense.
Oregon fan.
Well,
Yeah.
so so Allie, actually, you misspoke, Allie, because you said Oregon Beavers, Oregon
Yeah.
State, not to be confused with the University of Oregon. That's a sin. So they're very different. And people we're always like, oh, Oregon State, it's the Ducks, and I have to correct them, and it's awkward, and I get frustrated, and I judge them. So
So there'll be none of that.
Yeah.
I'm a Beaver.
No, but
I'm a
I
Beaver.
knew. Yeah, I knew who the Beaver was because one of my best friends, he's from that part of the country, diehard that, and I always give him shit, and I do that because I know it bugs him. Exactly what you said, and I'm like, "Hey, go Ducks, man!" And he's like, "That's on my team," and like when
All
the
the time.
Spartans are playing, like when Michigan State's playing them in basketball, I'll shoot him a text, and I'm like, "Yeah, go Spartans!" Screw the Ducks. And he's like, screw the Ducks. I don't like the Ducks. I'm a Beaver fan. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I knew that. And I pretend to know that every time he gets pissed about it.
But that's great that your friend is a Beaver fan. just because there's just a lot more Ducks fans out there. So the fact that you have a Beaver fan friend is you already got points in my book. Like that's actually my bar is so low. If someone like has a friend that's a Beaver fan, I'm like, that person's cool to me. So that's how low my bar is.
Well, I'll drink to that too.
Cheers.
Boom. Done and done.
But play-by-play is cool. I always wanted to do that. I don't have the balls to do that. I will say that right now. I'm too all over the place. You know, I don't have the patience to do play-by-play. So I admire anybody that does.
You might go off the rails a little bit.
Yeah, I'm like, what the f- are you doing, dude? You know, you can't really do that. You know, although I think I'd be great on Monday Night Football because I would yell like, you know, I'm like the Booger McFarland, but with all my fingers are straight. You know,
yeah.
You know, like I feel like I want to do Monday Night Football. That's like my dream job, be a defensive coordinator in the NFL.
That whole story that Booger McFarland told, like shitting himself on the signs, like I can never ever. I don't want to say it the same way because like I can't even look at him. You know, that really hurt. That grossed me out to a different level of gross.
Yeah, that was a TMI moment for sure.
Booger, dude. That's why people call you Booger.
Yeah,
you know,
your mama calls you that. your mama calls you that, and that's one thing. But your mama told your coach and the rest of the world to call you that. That's not that. You know, I mean.
Boy. So speaking of play-by-play, Marv Albert retired. That was kind of big news this week.
Yeah.
All right. I see you guys have a lot of feelings.
Sorry. I was putting some nuts in my mouth right when you.
Yeah. Hi. Guess what? We're doing a live show right now.
I was leaving it to the play-by-play guy.
I like Marv Albert. He definitely fell off in recent years. Didn't he have a thing with some hookers? Didn't he have a thing with some?
Well, I thought we weren't judging on Tuesdays. Now we're judging.
Oh, that wasn't judgment. That always made me. I'm just like, okay, Marv
because
likes
who
to color
doesn't,
outside.
You know,
I like a play-by-play guy. That's a little bit degenerate, actually. Detroit Lenny. In fact, the Clippers, my team, the LA Clippers, hired for our radio play-by-play guy last year. They hired Ian Eagle's son, fresh out of college, fresh out of Syracuse. And I don't like it because I don't want to play-by-play. I don't respect a play-by-play guy who hasn't lived a little bit, who hasn't colored outside the lines a little bit. I want a little. Put your dues in, and also maybe hookers, maybe a drinking problem.
Listen,
a little.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the road. If you're on the road, calling a game, you're with the NBA or whatever. I mean, you got all these groupies around. I mean, you know, it's the world. You know, it's like, yeah, Brady's right though. He bit a woman. He had a biting thing. It wasn't just hookers. He had a biting thing. Okay, that's what it was.
Cool.
He took it too far. He paid, but he didn't pay for the biting.
I mean, you charge extra for that. Everybody knows that. Come on.
Yeah, rookie. I mean, that's like you don't hear Robert Kraft or Deshaun Watson having biting issues. No, you take it too far.
Yeah, it's one thing to pay. It's another thing to cross. Yeah, I'm not here to kink shame Marv Albert. But if it wasn't consensual, then that's not cool.
No, absolutely. So that's where now we know the line, the biting, but I think he you're right though. He fell off for the last couple of years. I would probably say the last 5, or so. I mean, he's just kind of fell off and it was time,
Yeah.
I mean, he's a legend.
Yeah. Well, one of my favorite things about Marv Albert is like playing Who's Marv Albert on? When you watch him call a game, you can like almost always tell who he's got money on. Like Marv Albert gets down, and you can tell in his voice like which.
That's the underlying old school degenerate coming out of him. It's because he can't call a game unbiased. Like if you really truly listen to the whole game, you could tell who he's favoring for sure. Oh, yeah. And if you're drunk enough, you can live bet that and see if you're right. Which it might have been a drinking game back in the day.
Well, I played it all the time with the Guru. It was just a game we played watching it. Well, we'd watch him call his games. So other big news in the sports world, I'm sure it's been talked about, but Lenny and I haven't. White panties and a garter belt. Albert called her to his hotel room to help him send a fax, only for her to find him wearing white panties and a garter belt.
See, now Brady's totally judging.
Brady, I
How
feel
does
like
Brady know so much?
Brady's our,
so much.
Brady's our fact checker. Haven't you guys realized that? Brady,
Yeah,
like,
okay.
as soon as you say one thing, remember I asked what color is Duke blue? He's like, Duke navy blue is what it's called because you have Honolulu blue.
Honolulu blue. It's right there.
Brady is our
over there.
our stat checker.
Yeah, but
That's what-
it's one thing to know that. First of all, there was a fax being sent. If that's not a little suspect, I don't know what time
Yeah.
period, how long this
You get a
was.
fax machine.
Right? Who's calling somebody up to their hotel to send a fax? I mean, she should know what she like. I mean, whatever. And then the biting thing. And then but he's been cleared of all charges. But my question is, why does Brady know it was a white panties? Not just
Well, I'm
panties
sure-
and a garter belt, but white panties. Too much
sure he-
information.
He's looking up. There's quotes on it, so I'm sure he's looking up a.
Cofield's Googling.
Yeah, because Google said so. If it was 1997, I could see a fax machine being involved. I'll give you a
Okay,
fax.
that makes more
Not
sense.
fax there. I'm like the last time I saw a fax machine was like Office Space. I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, who has fax machines? Maybe on my
I
mom's.
just envisioned him like 3 years ago trying to get some chick up to his hotel room to fax something.
It's never.
You know
gonna
what I
work.
mean? I'm
Can I
like,
just
wow,
mail
who
you
does that?
like from my watch. It'll be cool, Marv. You're 107.
Right.
Fine, we got this. We got this.
Let's talk about the A's. Can we?
I was going to talk about the Dodgers. I wanted to talk about pool hosts, but let's go A's first. You got
Nobody
D's.
cares.
Go.
Well, I'm curious because you said, Alex, you from that area, the Bay Area, kind of, or the Cali area?
I mean, same state, but
You're
pretty far-
Southern.
pretty far away.
You're-
I'm Southern.
You're more.
Yeah, I'm Southern.
Okay, you're more.
But I
SoCal.
am an
Okay.
A's fan. But I am an A's fan.
Okay.
I'm an A's fan. Yeah. Even though
So-
I grew up by Angel Stadium. I grew up by Angel Stadium. I live now by Dodger Stadium. But I would identify as an A's fan. Yeah.
Okay,
Your
so
audio is really funny. You're a little underwater.
Am I?
Yeah.
My internet's really bad tonight. I don't know if something's going on. That's what it's. I don't know what's up with my internet tonight.
Yeah, we had
So-
that with our last guy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lenny. I'm
Well, I
sorry.
was gonna say. So, what are your thoughts on A's Vegas A's? I mean, you want to see them here? You don't care? You want to keep them in Oakland? What's your thoughts?
I want to keep them in Oakland. I mean, I'm someone who doesn't like live in Oakland, so my opinion probably matters less. But the Raiders already left Oakland. The Warriors left Oakland. They moved across the bay. The A's, it's all Oakland's got, and Oakland was at one point a great sports town. And I don't know if it's I haven't dove into the details of what's going on that much. So I don't know if it's that I know the city, county, whatever doesn't want to build the stadium, but I don't want the A's to leave just because that sucks for the people of Oakland. And I mean, I know they knew they
A's.
hmm?
Wait, I feel like it sucks more for the A's. Like, oh, well, let's just like slum it up with our crappy baseball job so the city of Oakland can have a team. You know, like if the city of Oakland isn't going to support us and give us proper stadium and like a ballpark, then who cares about the city of Oakland? I mean, this is just my devil's advocate. Also, I want the A's to come here.
Like, I think it's a catch-22 because you have the people, like Alex said, like you feel bad for those fans that live there, those season ticket holders. You feel bad for them. You don't feel bad for the players. I mean, you kind of feel bad for players, but they should get, it's hard to travel in state, go down to see the Dodgers or the Padres or whatever, and be in a high-end facility. And then they go back to Oakland and the plumbing doesn't work, the shitter's overfilled, whatever. I mean, you're talking about $100 million guys have to share a urinal, prima donnas, whatever. And then stadiums falling apart around them. Would I love to see them in Vegas? Sure. But one city that Cofield mentioned last week was Mexico City that has intrigued me, that I've been doing a little bit more research on. And that
Wait.
like
How
it.
realistic is that? Is that actually being talked about? I didn't even hear that.
If I was to rank them, I would rank Mexico City third behind Nashville and Vegas. I know there's talks about like Seattle,
Are you ranking them as like 1, 2, 3, where you want them to go, or where you think that they will go?
Where I think they will go. I think what we talked about last week in the whole, like the little, I call it the little triangle offense or whatever, where they have a Raiders Stadium, T-Mobile, and imagine the A's all within a couple blocks. You could come into town for a weekend and possibly hit 2 games, 3 games in different sports. You know, I mean, you could hit a baseball and a football game, or definitely a hockey, definitely a Knights and an A's game. You know what I mean? I mean, it would cost more money. We need a retractable roof. We need stuff like that. But I think Nashville actually takes it for whatever reason. That's
why couldn't why couldn't a baseball team share with the Raiders? Like I don't remember like that.
That's why the Raiders left. That's why
I don't think the Raiders want to share no more.
Okay, fair. I don't know that I ever knew one thing about the Raiders ever. Like, okay, fair enough. I didn't know that part.
Yeah, but Nashville, I think, has got a hot market. But I just love the appeal of the Vegas. But, you know, I know it's above my pay grade. You know, the whole city council, what are they going to do for taxes? You know, how are they going to how much more can you have on a room tax? I mean, how we're already paying for the Raiders Stadium forever. Now we're going to pay for an A stadium, but the Las Vegas Athletics, I'm telling you, that's money. That's marketing money. That's genius. That's you put it in the right spot. You market it as a Las Vegas Athletics. I still think you keep that fan base, that A's fan base. Keep the colors. I love the green and yellow. I love that shit in the 80s.
Green is money. We're Vegas, honey.
Yeah, right. The Las Vegas Aces, the Las Vegas, the Knights, the Raiders, and the A's.
Yeah, what do you think about Portland? I thought Portland, Alex, I'm asking you because you lived in Oregon also. I thought Portland, I like the idea of Portland, but they feel like more of a minor league baseball team to me than they do a major league baseball.
I'm really biased because I used to live in Portland. So I've seen, and when I left Portland in 2018, the MLB to Portland movement there was really getting going. So I saw a lot of that firsthand. I know where they want to build the stadium, and I know how hardcore that city does support its sports teams. I think Vegas is kind of the same way, but like Portland Timber, like MLS games are sold out. Women's soccer games are sold out. Blazers games are always sold out. I know they go crazy for baseball. You can't put rain as a factor because Seattle has a team and it rains more in Seattle. So I'm really high on Portland. I'm super high on Portland, but I'm biased. And then I'm like, I love the A's. I want them to stay in Oakland. But if they did leave, Portland would be sick. Like, so it's like two of my biggest personal biases. And also it's so hard because I've always enjoyed going to A's games, going up to the Bay and going to games at that shitty arena at the Oakland Alameda Coliseum. But obviously it's not sustainable much longer. Like, they're at a breaking point. The players don't want to play there. I've always enjoyed it because tickets were actually always affordable. Concessions were somewhat affordable. And it just, I don't know. It's COVID, so it's hard to tell, but they just put like $100 million into Dodger Stadium. I know that tickets are, and I know they just won the World Series, but to go to a Saturday night Dodgers game right now is a $500 minimum ticket. And I'm just like, okay, so I can't go to a game. There's nothing I can do to go to a game. That'll change when COVID is over, but I miss $4 baseball games, $5 games. And I always like that. I always like that about the A's, even when they were really good. It was still like a shitty stadium.
I could relate to that story with the stadiums because I remember when like the Tigers, they built Co-America Park, and it was great at the time, and all this. But Tiger Stadium, like I went there when I was 12, and you could still, as an adult, get a $5 bleacher ticket, and it was wherever you want to sit in the bleachers, but it was $5, and you were paying more sometimes for a beer than you were a ticket. But it was a good time, man. There was parties in the bleacher seats at Tiger Stadium back in the day. That's a good time.
I love that.
Right. You just went for the atmosphere. You didn't even know who the hell they were playing. If they were winning or losing, you went it was like tailgating inside. It was that kind of atmosphere. And Knights tickets, playoff tickets are through the freaking, you got to mortgage your house to go see a Knights game. Yeah. So the A's aren't going to be any different if they did come here. It's not like, I'm definitely not buying season tickets.
I think it's really important that they stay on the West Coast, though. I think if Vegas or Portland or I guess maybe Mexico City is that West Coast, technically not. But I think that they got to stay on the West Coast. Losing a team from the West, a team with so much history on the West Coast, losing them to Nashville or to, I guess I saw Montreal thrown out, to anywhere over East would just suck for West Coast baseball in general. I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know why Montreal would didn't they try that? It didn't work out.
It didn't work.
Trying it again.
It sure
Right, it didn't
did.
work. Yeah, so and I like the concept of Mexico City. I don't know if it just is a reason for me to go to Mexico City, but you know what I mean? The Portland thing, I like the idea. I like the fan base. I like all that. I worry if there's enough to support the Mariners and a Portland team. That's what I worry about. Where Vegas, it seems like it's just a money printing place, a city. Like we got money just coming off the presses hot. Like they just won't stop spending money. And the fan base is real hot right now because Knights came and kicked the door open for Major League Sports. And now the Raiders are here. We're about to steal everything from Oakland. We're about to rape and pillage that village. You know, we're taking everything from Oakland.
He's not
And
even.
yes, Stimmy, I saw my Tigers throw that no-hitter. I saw that, Stimmy. Tigers no-hitter today. First time since May 7th, 2011, Justin Verlander, Mr. Kate Upton. Yes. I
So
saw it.
Tampa Bay Rays, is that what you're talking about, Pro Martini Maker? The Tampa Bay Rays are rumored to be going to Nashville? Huh. That can't be
I
true.
could see that. I got family in Tampa, and nobody goes to baseball there.
The Rays
They're
got
all about their lightning.
They
See, the
got-
problem with
Why would you move the Rays? I would move the Marlins.
because no one cares about the Rays. I mean, talk about it. The thing about the
I
A's.
care about the Rays. The Rays supply every good pitcher in freaking baseball right now.
Bigger market, Tampa or Miami?
Miami by
Miami.
far.
Right.
far.
And so you keep the Marlins, you keep Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
Nashville is a bigger market than Tampa. Nothing's going on in Tampa except for Brady.
I don't-
Brady.
Well, they're
Tom Brady.
Stanley
We're going to
Cup.
rename it to Brady, Florida. It's not even going to be called Tampa in 3 years. It's going to be called Tom Brady, Florida.
We'll call Borda because that's what it is. Tom
Whatever.
Brady's in charge of it. It's the Borda. He's like as vanilla as Mike Trout is to me. He bugs me. Hate
Who?
him. He's like a-
Tom
Tom
Brady.
Brady.
She hates Tom Brady.
I can't stand him. I don't like those guys. I don't like that Mike Trout guy, that Tom Brady guy, that clean cut all American with my cardigan on.
Tim
Check.
Tebow.
I hate that guy. Yeah, Tim
Tim
Tebow.
Tebow's
Tim
my
Tebow.
my guy that if we're drunk in a bar, I'll get in a fight over somebody saying Tim Tebow's great. I'll throw blows. Because
Elliot texted me today. Oh my God, it was the most Elliot thing to say ever.
I'll tell you right now, I'm waiting for. It's like what Alex said. If you don't, for a ball player, Tim Tebow's never been caught with hookers and blow in a hotel. And
you
until
like that.
then,
And you like that.
until then, I don't trust Tim Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
He's not God's quarterback. Okay. You know, he's not. He's going to get, it's just a matter of time before his degenerate ass gets caught. You know, he was partying with Aaron Hernandez back in the day. God knows what dirt he was doing. Okay. He's been in a Motel 6 in Miami somewhere with some hookers and blow. The sooner he admits it, the bigger his fan base will grow.
He's God's tight end now. Yeah, Elliot literally
He's
texted.
God's
Can't
tight
wait
end,
to
yeah.
see Tim Tebow back on the field in Jacksonville with smiley face emoji and thumbs up. I'm like, that was such a you thing to say, bro. Really? Really?
He's just talking out loud.
Yeah, he's
It's Allie's Allie's pet peeve saying.
yeah. Just
Yeah,
talking out
sure.
loud here. Or you mean you're thinking out loud, or are you talking? Oh, 'cause
Talking
people
out loud.
talk
I'm just
Yeah,
talking out loud.
It's how they talk out loud.
So now I say that all the time.
Yeah.
I say it to
So-
my wife after I told her the story how you hate it. And she's like, well, yeah, who the hell says that shit? And so now every
Now
time we
you
want to talk
do.
about the kids, I'm like, look, I'm just talking out loud here, but I got a plan. And then she immediately uses my full name in foul language.
Tim Tebow wasn't born in the USA. Is that what we're talking about? Who wasn't born in the USA?
Tim Tebow
mean-
was birthed from an American flag.
Yeah.
Like that was his baby cloth. Like his baby blanket was an American flag. He's like the ultimate Like he should be on a
Oh, he was born in the
commercial for something on the
Philippines.
4th of July.
He was born in the
That's-
Philippines, but it's because it was military. So that explains the American flag. There it is. I did not know this about Tim Tebow at
I
all.
got a cousin that was born in Okinawa when my
That's
uncle was serving in. Yeah, we always
Oh.
mess with him and tell him he's not allowed to be here, but whatever.
They were missionaries. That makes a lot more sense now.
Oh, of course, he was doing God's work. That
Mm.
doesn't have just a geographical area to the United States. He was in the Philippines doing God's work before he was born.
Yep. Dad planting seeds. Just over there planting seeds in the Philippines, making them grow.
Yeah.
I like
I'm
it.
intrigued by the A's though, in Mexico City, and I don't know why.
When we talk about this, that doesn't seem realistic to me, but I'm also intrigued by it. I'm always intrigued
Yeah,
by things in Mexico City. I was in Mexico City in 2019 when they announced an upcoming NFL game. It wasn't even like being played that week. It was announced like, hey, this season they're going to play one. And it was like on the front page of all the newspapers. Everyone was talking about it. And like, yes, I know that there's, I guess, safety issues and whatnot. You know, there's safety issues everywhere. Obviously, LA, every place has issues. I get that with Mexico City, but I'm intrigued by it. Lenny.
right. Like, I mean, I think I'm intrigued by how's that going to play out. Let me see how the plan is. Where's the stadium? Who's paying for it? How's the road trip working? How's all that? Montreal's out. Like, I mean,
For sure.
Yeah, the Blue Jays can't even play there. So what the hell are we going to give them a new team with COVID-25 coming or whatever the hell it is? You can't do baseball in Canada. Yeah, right. I'm just saying, they can't, like, they have hockey in Canada, and that's it.
Dude, so speaking of hockey, go Knights go.
Yeah,
It
whatever.
went down for real, right? We win game 2. That happened, right? Yes, 3-1.
Yes.
Okay, it's
3-1.
Freaking A, there was so much crap talk on picks and parlays today about how the Knights were not going to get it done. Now I'm checking my bets to see what I
I
cashed.
took the over. I took the over. It ended up 3-1. They could have did more.
So it's kind of scary because you're the hockey expert, not me, but is it true that we've never won at Minnesota? Is that a real thing?
This
We've
year.
never won it. Okay, just this year. Okay.
Yeah,
And it's
Minnesota
not-
plays the Knights very, 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 very tough. They're like, they have their number. The Knights are a better team. They're on paper a better team. Any which way you want to cut it, they're a better team. But Minnesota is a scrappy team. They're from Minnesota. They play hockey 12 months a year, 365. When I remember when the Knights were coming here, I'm like, who the hell puts a hockey team in the middle of the desert? It's worked. I was wrong. But Minnesota is a scrappy team. And I feel like they're old school hockey. So I feel like when they play like almost with a chip on their shoulder against West Coast teams, because that's a thing in the Midwest and on the East Coast. We don't believe people out here should have hockey. I'm from Detroit. I'm an original 6 Red Wing team. Like, we are old school hockey. We are considered hockey town. And we don't, like, when we had to play LA back when Gretzky was there, we were like, why does LA have a team? They got ice. They got no ice. Like, that's how, and I feel like when I watch Minnesota, they play with that chip on the shoulder. Like, I got to play Vegas. They're not coming, they're coming here to whoop ass and to show them how hockey's played. They still have that chip on the shoulder against the expansion team.
But how many of them are like actually from Minnesota?
Oh, none of them.
From Canada and Russia, or I don't know, wherever hockey players are from.
Canada, Russia, and Sweden, and that's about it. Yeah, and some Minnesotas people.
Oh, Detroit finally took Hockey Town
Minnesotans.
off the ice, by the way. You are not Hockey Town anymore. You hear that?
You shut your mouth, Truth from Duluth. That's untrue.
Duluth
Let
and
me
only
picture.
tells the truth.
Truth from Duluth is lies. Did that really happen? I'm shocked. Right now. It's probably
Fibs
we
from
just
the-
changed stadiums. We got rid of Joe Louis Arena. We were in the playoffs 25 plus years. We were in the playoffs before they started keeping track of the playoffs, before the internet, and then the Knights came out, and then all hell went. They got an expansion team, and the Wings stopped making the playoffs, and we're still freaking Hockey Town. Check our banners, homie. Check our roof. Check our rafters.
Why'd they take it off the ice? Why'd they take Hockey Town off the ice?
We suck. We've sucked the
Oh.
last 3 years. We're
It's just
rebuilding.
like we suck.
Yeah, no,
I thought it was like,
we just suck. We're rebuilding. We got a lot of young people. You know what it is? They built a new stadium, Little Caesars Arena. So they brought the Pistons down and the Wings. So now all 4 major teams, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Wings, all play inside the city limits, downtown Detroit. You can walk to any 4 games within a 3-block radius. They're all 3 stadiums are right there. Pistons and the Wings share a stadium. So now it's like it's the Little Caesars Arena, which is stupid, and the Pistons play there and the Wings play there, and it's just got a different vibe. It's not Joe Louis. It's not that dirty LA Coliseum. Joe Louis, you gotta walk up the stairs. You go to the bathroom. You don't hit the thing to flush the toilet with your elbow because everything sticks. Everything's sticky there. You know, this it's
Don't you have a trough? Don't you boys have a trough when you flush in toilet?
sometimes, yeah, but when you gotta go, you gotta go. The trough is full. The trough is full.
I like
Yeah.
I like shitty arenas. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're implying?
Yeah, I'm a
Okay.
whole
I
wall
think
kind
he's
of guy.
literally saying it's a shitty arena.
It was. They tore it
Yeah.
down.
Literal face.
It's abandoned. That's why they built a new one. 'Cause
That's
it was
why
a
I like
shithole.
That's why I like the A's, and I know they have to do something, but it bums me out because I don't know. I like the shitty arena.
Right. You like that hole in the wall feel.
I
Yeah,
do. That's
that down home.
I love drinking at dive bars, but I don't want to work at a dive bar. You know, I think that's the difference. Like, we all love to
Well, I
go
don't want to
the
work there.
arena, but do you want to work? Like, as my job as a professional baseball player, I don't want to work there. I'm glad
I want
that
to
you
go get a
enjoy
shot and a
your
beer,
food.
and I want to watch a ball game,
But
or
I'm-
I want to get a hot dog. You know, I like Cashman Field. That was a hole in the wall. You know, but the new Summerlin
Yeah.
Stadium is awesome, and I
Beautiful.
like all that. But you know, that old school vibe. You know, I also like watching. I watch reruns of 80s, 90s basketball games.
I do too.
Yeah.
Oh, so
But I
the
do-
reason
You know, I do bet on them with my kids, even though I know the outcome.
you are degenerate.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're catching
I-
up.
I
I
no
asked
shame.
because-
No shame in my game.
I thought it was like I thought it was like canceled. Like I thought it was problematic. I thought Hockey Town. I was so curious. I was like, oh, why'd they take it off the ice? I thought it was like something. I thought there was something problematic with Hockey Town that like went over my head, but it just because they
No,
suck.
we just
Which is
yeah,
actually a
we just-
funnier.
Now,
Well, it's fun to watch, at least with the Lions. Like, for example, we watch the Lions. They've never been that good to rebuild. Where at least you know the Wings, you know, they've won multiple Stanley Cups. You've seen them win in your lifetime. You've been to that game. You felt that atmosphere. You feel all that. And then you see that history tore down and they go to a different stadium. Now they suck, but they're bringing back those old guys. Steve Eisenman, he's the general manager now. So they bring him back. That guy that knows Hockey Town. That, you know, he played 19 years in the season. He played for one team. He's drafted by the Red Wings when he was 19 years old, and he played 19 seasons with them as the captain, and that was it. He retired. So now he's back there, hometown kid. You know what I mean? I mean, our star player is from the suburbs of Detroit, so we're rebuilding. So, yeah, we's Hockey Town. Yes, I am from
I
Detroit.
get that though, because like I told you last week,
It's in our blood.
I grew up going to the games at the Astrodome, and then when Minute Maid was it was Enron was what it was, and now it's Minute Maid. But when it was built, it was really beautiful. The stadium's great; it's magical walking in there. But I get it, like it wasn't the dome. You know, it wasn't the same experience as being at the Astrodome for sure. And then Took a bunch of Russians and Canadians to do it for Detroit.
The Russian Five, baby. The Russian Five. Get it right. Not just a bunch of Russians. It was called the Russian Five. It's never been done in sports history. You're welcome. It has never been done. If you ever get a chance, best documentary, sports documentary. It's only like an hour long, maybe an hour and a half. It's called the Russian Five. And they literally, the general manager of the Red, he flew to Europe and he smuggled the Russian player from the Russian team. This is during the Cold War. They smuggled his ass into the States to play for the Red Wings, and we won a Stanley Cup. So yeah, we stole the Russians and we won a Stanley Cup, and we're proud of it.
That's intense.
It like that. There was a lot of like political shit going on, and it was intense. It was a good backstory, whether you're from Duluth or not.
Fair enough.
Or from Detroit.
Well,
yeah,
holy
I speak the truth from Vegas.
Another big baseball thing that happened that I was bringing up was Pujols going to the Dodgers. I didn't see that coming exactly. But then when I thought about it a little more, I'm like, he's older. I don't know if he has kids, but he wouldn't have to take him out of school. He doesn't have to drive too far from where he's already at. Like,